After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 204. It is Tuesday, April 26, 2016. As we are recording, it's about 2:45 in the afternoon, and it's getting ready to storm, so if the light changes abruptly, that's why. Okay.
Shift slightly that way.
Why?
There we go. You were off center.
I'm not, in fact.
I was like pushed against the edge. Hi.
Anyway.
What's your name?
Interruptions.
What's your name?
Anyway, my name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico on Ravelry and Instagram and just about anywhere else except for my writing sites, which is Shadowlight.
My name is Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy everywhere online. Who sang that song?
I don't know. Davina would know.
Davina would know.
We do have, we want to welcome all new and returning viewers. Thank you for joining us here in the PHN Fun Woman Cave. We're glad to have our returning viewers back, and we're glad to have our new viewers joining us for the first time, and hope you find something you like and that you will stay. If you are in the shadows and you would like to take part in the alongs and win prizes or have the chance to win prizes, please join the Ravelry group. It's painless, I promise. We don't bite, and we'd love to have you. Well, she's got her shot, so she's a vampire, so suspected. Night nurses. Anyway, so please do come out of the shadows if you are still there lurking, or if you're brand new. We'd love to have you as an official member, so that you can be eligible for prizes and giveaways and such. We do have a new member this time around.
Oh, no, it is one.
Mom Knitter, who is Dawn, and I believe Dawn came from the Spicy Homemaker podcast. She heard from us there. So welcome, Dawn. We're glad to have you with us.
Yes, welcome.
Yay. Exciting. Speaking of the knitting games, Spicy Homemaker, they are going strong. They are still doing the viewer cal for a couple of specific shawls and a sock pattern on one side, and a couple specific shawls and a cowl, I think it is, on the other one. Anyway, it's Melissa, who is who's Spicy Homemaker, and D-Fly B, I think that's Brittany's name, and she's Sip and Stitch, okay, podcast, and they are both fantastic. So I just wanted to give them another plug before we started, because that's what I do, because I really like what they're doing. I think it's wonderful the way they're building community, getting all the podcasters involved, getting all the viewers involved across podcasts, which is really exciting. A lot of fun going on there, a lot of energy. So if you have some of our projects that fit in their categories, and I believe they will accept them. I know Melissa does. Feel free to double dip. If you know, that would be great. That would be great. All right.
What are you drinking? What's in your mug? What's in your mug?
Hold on. Stop poking me.
This is a poke. This is a backhand.
Stop it.
Poke,
I'll get Matt
backhand.
to backhand
Poke,
you.
backhand.
To fly across the stage here.
Matt doesn't backhand women. And we're making.
He doesn't know what to do with women.
We're talking about Gunsmoke, Matt Dillon. Whenever he has a female who's unruly, he gets really confused and isn't sure what to do about it.
He has to get Kitty to deal with it.
Yes.
Okay, I am drinking in my St. Paul mug because I picked up my first mug here. You can't see his picture. I have to turn it around.
Because she drinks weirdly. She drinks with her left hand.
My St. Paul mug, and I've got a little St. Paul prayer on the back.
And the only reason why it's weird is because she's actually a righty. I think that maybe she was naturally lefty and was taught to do things righty.
Chai tea, vanilla chai tea.
And I am in the Oops the Bunny mug. I do have other mugs I drink from, as proven by Instagram. But this is my preferred podcasting mug.
And I just like this size, you know.
It's the same size.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same size, but I just pick up whatever I go
Oh,
for.
yeah.
And I use this in the morning. This is my morning when I do my Bible reading and my prayers and stuff, this is the one I use. So when I do the podcast, I forget to look for the podcast mugs. I just pull the one I normally go for.
Mm-hmm. I am drinking Plum Deluxe Self-Care Blend Herbal Tea. I heard about, actually, I already had this tea, but I thought it was funny. It came up on Robin, Stitching Between the Pages podcast. I think she was giving this away as a prize to somebody. I don't know if she's giving it away yet. So I am drinking it now. I forgot I had it. It's very similar in makeup to the other tea I've been drinking, the one that you like, the Sunshine in a Cup.
That's a good one.
That one's very robust, though. It's very sweet.
I don't know if that's the same as robust.
No, it's strong as well. Like
yeah. Well, it is strong, but it doesn't give that, like, when black tea is strong, it feels like really, I don't know, almost coffee-ish.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's not, the Sunshine in a Cup isn't coffee-ish. It's a very strong, potent taste. It's very flowery.
Mm-hmm.
This one, on the other hand, is a little bit lighter. Yeah, it's got that little. You want to try? It's got that little bit of sweetness.
It's hot.
Okay. It's got that little bit of sweetness.
That's good. It is much lighter than the other one.
But it's lighter than the Sunshine in a Cup.
It's not as potent as strong.
Yeah. And I've been trying to figure out how to flavor my tea, and I know that...
And by flavor, you mean sweeten.
Sweeten, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Sue had suggested stevia. I haven't liked stevia from using it in the past. I understand that it's something that a very little bit can go a very long way.
So Sue said something about the fact that it leaves an aftertaste.
Yeah.
If you use too much.
So I've been trying the Orange Blossom Honey Sticks and then the Deluxe tea sugar. I prefer the tea sugar. I have a lot of honey sticks to make through, though. Right now I'm using tea sugar. I'm almost out. This is my last bag.
It looks like little golden nuggets.
It does, and I use about 2 teaspoons, and that's all I need for each cup.
I saw something like that, only it was probably just raw sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But you can probably get that in health food stores.
Probably can.
But it's more fun to get it in the mail.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's Amber Rock cane sugar. But this is my preferred way of flavoring my tea now. Mm-hmm. Which is probably better than sweet and low I was using.
Right.
Except if I was diabetic. Don't use this if you're diabetic.
Okay, are you finished with your tea?
I am finished with my tea. Well, I'm not finished with my tea.
Well, yes. So we just finished talking about the knitting games with Spicy Homemaker and Sip and Stitch podcast, which is awesome if you want to check that out. Now we want to get into the 4th annual PHN Autism Awareness Cal. We have 2 lovely co-hosts. We have Heidi, who is Knitty Girl from Undead Yarn.
Yes, Heidi is coming back for more.
Yes, Heidi's coming back for more. She's a glutton for punishment.
And check out the thread on her podcast about her
yarn. Heidi, a resounding yes for the werewolf.
Yes, yes. I would love to see the werewolf come back.
Bring back the werewolf, yes.
Werewolf base.
Werewolf
not
base,
random werewolf.
Heidi's werewolf yarn was fantastic. Loved it. Anyway, moving on. Heidi is one of our co-hosts, and she is the one who's doing the autism colorway, and I believe she's still taking orders to dye it up through the end of April. I don't know if she's going to be doing it after that. I think that she's kind of busy at this time of year, so I'm not sure. You'd have to ask her.
I need to hurry up and finish, not hurry up, but I need to finish my Batman Superman socks so I can work socks in her yarn, so she'll believe me that I can work her yarn and something else besides toys.
Yes. And then the other co-host is Laura, who is a crocheting Whovian, and she, I always get mixed up. She has 3 different names, and she's confusing me. Because it doesn't take much, Laura.
Because it's a mixture of and the.
Well, it's crocheting Whovian, I think is her Rav name, and the crocheting Whovian, I think, is a podcast, and then there's a crochet Whovian Alliance or Legions. Yeah. And click on her Ravatar, it'll take you there. Okay. She's fantastic. She's our other co-host, and she's just great. I think she's been sick. I hope she's feeling better.
I know she was starting.
She had surgery, and she was feeling better. So I hope to.
I saw her on Instagram recently.
Oh, did you?
So
Oh, that's right. I did see her on Instagram.
She started another Timmy.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that. I'm looking for your next podcast, Laura. Yes, I'm going through a little bit of withdrawal. She needs the podcast. She's a really entertaining podcast.
Yes. So I've got like this random pounding in my ear.
Okay. Now I mentioned that we're right in the middle of the Autism Awareness. It is running from April 1st through June 30th. It is for knit and crochet only, no weaving or spinning or anything like that. Sorry, just knitting and crocheting. Brightly colored objects, that should be the majority brightly colored. I think we said about 70% or something like that, give or take. We're not going to be policing it as long as it's bright.
Pettis Kim, I did answer you on Instagram. Yes, that handbrake's bright enough. It's a.
Oh, she asked a question?
Yeah, it's a very bright green. It's like a. You see the green on your Autism Awareness bag?
Yes.
It's about that color.
Pettis Kim, I don't know why I haven't been getting notifications. I saw that you have 2 new podcasts up and I haven't seen them yet. I was quite perturbed about it and annoyed because I follow you and I watch you and now I'm 2 behind and it makes me cranky.
It sounds a lot creepier if you don't know it in the reference of online stuff. You're following and watching her. Just add a certain tone to it. It makes you sound like a creeper.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm 2 behind because nobody let me know that you had podcasts until I got the most recent update from YouTube. So, yeah, I'm a little annoyed with the powers that be who would not let me know. But
yeah, she's not annoyed at you. It's a YouTube glitch or whatever.
Yeah, it's some kind of whatever. But anyway, 1 WIP per project per week, brightly colored, and 1 finished object whenever you're finished with it. And if we do have some double prizes, double prize categories, if you will. Let me see here. I'm trying to find where it is because I keep adding to them because we've had some wonderful people donate things. If you have a finished object in any of Heidi's bright yarn, particularly her Autism Awareness, that finished object will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize. If it is a bright Autism Awareness color of a bright color of Heidi's that's not Autism Awareness, you need to let me know that it's her yarn because I won't know for sure. So let me know in the finished project so I can give you the 2 chances or post it twice. The other thing is any of Talia's Franciscan Gypsy designs, any of them. Her Duke, her toys, even her Nightwing. If you do it in bright colors, it will be eligible for 2 chances as a prize for the FO.
I always forget about the Nightwing chart because...
Right. The other thing was Miss World. She donated that weighted blanket. She gave us a coupon code and everything like that. If you do the FO for either one of those, you know, they count because they're 2 different things. One's a weighted lap blanket, the other's a little toy. Each of those as a finished object will get a chance, 2 chances for a prize. And there's one more. Let's see, Heidi's. Laura's patterns. Any of Laura's patterns done in bright colors. That was one of them. And there was one more. Oh, Victoria Blue. Victoria Blues. And thank you, Victoria, for contacting me because I meant to put her coupon code up there. She has a coupon code for us for her fingerless Autism Awareness mitts, which is the one pattern that you do if you finish it. You'll get 2 chances at a prize for the finished object. And she has a coupon code. If you look at the prize and all the information at the beginning of the Autism Awareness thread, it tells you all about Victoria Blue's.
Oh yeah, I need to put it in the top area.
I actually think I did.
Okay, good.
I think I did. But check the thread itself, just in case I didn't get everything in. It tells you what the pattern is, what the coupon code is, and when you need to use it. And it's a really, really nice fingerless mitt knitted pattern of puzzle pieces. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check that out. She's been very generous with donating a coupon code for that for us. That will give, I think it gives us a certain amount off. I don't remember exactly what it is, but we do have a coupon code. So if you put that in, you'll find out. Okay, because I'm a little bit of a bubblehead. But thank you, Victoria, for...
bubblehead. You should be wearing a bubble wrap.
Yeah. Thank you, Victoria, for letting me know, because I apologize. I told her I would do that, and I completely forgot. Okay, we have...
You lied to her?
We do have many prizes that are coming in and have come in. We have Miss World, as I said, donated her Autism Awareness Bear and Weighted Lap Pad as a prize. Victoria Blue, let me make sure I've got this correct. Debbie 1608 donated a skein of yarn that she dyed herself. It's in the Autism colors. She did her own Autism colorway, which is really beautiful. Mima Knits 2, who is Robin, donated a skein of lollipop yarn with heels and toe mini also. Mama C, who is Christina, donated 3 skeins of yarn as one prize, and then a beautiful bag that we showed, I think, last week that she made. Beautiful bag.
Very beautiful.
Miss World, who is Amy, donated the Autism Awareness Bear and Weighted Lap Pad as a prize for one winner. Yarnsit has donated, and I'm sorry, Yarnsit, I don't know your name, but she donated 5 Franciscan Gypsy Designs patterns, one to each of 5 lucky winners, which is awesome.
I'm trying to see if I can see.
Rainrose Knits, who is Margaret, donated those 4 Autism Awareness canvas bags we showed you the other podcast. Absolutely wonderful. And our newest one that came in, and there are still things coming in, but the newest one that might be coming in, the newest one that came in was from Spicy Homemaker, who is Melissa. And this is part of our stash enhancements, but this is what she donated. This is a Yowza What a Skein in the Funny Papers colorway. This is an amazing prize. Thank you very much, Melissa.
You.
This is Spicy Homemaker.
I didn't realize how
Melissa.
green it was.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now you have to realize that any given time, it's a Babette, so it's a repeatable Babette, so anytime you get funny papers from Miss Babs, it's going to be a little different. Maybe even a lot different. But it's still a beautiful colorway regardless. This is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous, and some lucky winner will have this. And I also picked up from Packy Knits, who is Heidi, a, I don't use DPN. It's a DPN holder. I'll show it to you as soon as I can get this bag shut. I'll give it to Tanya. She can shut it for me. Packy Knits, there we go. Had this up in her shop, and she has several others in her shop now, I believe, a couple maybe, and she's making them really fast. But I bought this one and she replaced it already. It's a DPN, she calls it a DPN cozy. It snaps. I want to be careful because I don't know. You're good. Maybe just slide it in. I don't know. There we go.
It just got stuck a little bit.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, it just got a little bit stuck. But anyway, it's for your DPNs or your sock in your that one's much easier. That one just needs to be eased out. And you can see it's very well made. It's very pretty. So this will be a prize for somebody.
And I use something like that all the time for my DPNs.
And somebody had mentioned that you can use it for your circulars for your socks as well to keep the needles from going places. So
I've never tried doing that myself.
I haven't. Well, I don't use DPNs, so I don't use DPN holders. But okay, so these are prizes that will.
I've been seeing more people make the DPN holders too.
Do you want to show this? I guess we can wait that. Could you just put this in the prize area over there?
Did you hear that little?
Yes, we did.
You made me move my knitting.
Okay, so the rest of that goes in stash enhancement, so we'll leave that there. But okay. We did receive. Do you have anything you want to say before I go into this? Oh, I forgot to say that Laura, our co-host, donated 2 $10 or less Ravelry downloadable patterns, one for each of 2 lucky winners. And I forgot to mention that. It's just because I got so excited about showing that prize, I forgot. But I have mentioned it before, and that was a very, very generous donation. Thank you very much.
Well, I think you also wrote it in small writing, because I can't read that.
No, but see, she is bold. I had to fix it. But anyway.
Yeah.
I am very grateful that we got a couple of people who answered our call for, hey, do you have any personal stories regarding your experiences with autism, autism, Asperger's, PDD, whatever it is. And one of the things we realized is, and we've known this, of course, is that early intervention is very, very important. The earlier you get, what?
I was wondering if you wanted to do the anonymous one first so you didn't mix up the stories.
I can do that. It doesn't really matter.
Just so people know it's not the same person.
Yeah, I have 2 people here, and I may only be able to get through one.
And
today.
sorry if I interrupted.
But the early intervention is very important because the earlier you catch it, the earlier you can work with them and help them to reach their potential, their full potential, whatever that might be, however high or wherever it is. It will get them to the highest point they can reach, as opposed to waiting too long and having to overcome. And you still might get them where they're going to go. It's just easier if it's earlier.
Yeah. Maybe a little less frustrating for the kid. Right.
Now, this one is from an they wanted to remain anonymous, so I'm going to be calling her the person daughter. We can give them a name, I guess. If it just comes out, know that the name is just something that came out of my head. It will not. I don't know the person's name. It's not in here. So whatever name I say, it's not her name. Okay. But she's the person who's sharing this with us told me that her daughter is a senior in high school, and she's been in the special needs school for high functioning autism since the 6th grade. So either she was very high functioning or she got diagnosed at that point. I don't know. I don't have the details. But she started getting her help in the 6th grade, and she is now, as we said, a senior in high school, and she has been accepted to 2 California state universities, which I think is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. It's always nice to hear about the other end of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
She's planning to attend school in San Francisco in the fall, so that is awesome. Apparently, she's going to have a wonderful support program that will give her both independence and support with her academic challenges, and she is determined to succeed, and I think she probably will, because according to her parents, she has worked very, very hard since she was very young, and she has applied herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is someone that you like to see what a positive environment can do for a person with an autistic spectrum disorder, whereas where they have challenges that have to be met, but rather than being ignored or misunderstood, they have someone who supports them both in the family and in the system, mm-hmm. whether it be schooling, homeschooling, private, whatever it is, that pushes them to the point where they can meet their challenges, not to their frustration, but
yeah. And this particular young lady's potential, the highest she's able to reach might be higher
mm-hmm.
than what someone else's might
like
be.
Like Davina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Davina is very young.
Davina is probably a moderate level.
Mm-hmm.
Now this young lady is going to go to college, and maybe will hold down a wonderful job. Davina holds down a part-time job as she can.
It's more like what we would call healthcare PRN, as needed.
Yeah, as needed. And she can only work a couple hours at a time, because then she
gets frustrated and distracted.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But that's where
she's at. This young lady has
is at a different area on the spectrum.
A different level of the spectrum. She has a different prognosis, if you will.
There's no 2 people on the spectrum
are alike.
And I know that sounds obvious, because
no 2 people are alike.
2 people are alike.
I think what
anyway.
we're trying to say is that there's no exact... The reason they don't... I have to think about what I wanted to say. There's a reason that it's so broad,
mm-hmm.
because there is no set of characteristics that everybody... I mean, it's everybody...
Because there's also a lot of times multiple diagnoses with it.
I mean, autistic spectrum disabilities like PDD and stuff like that share some of the symptoms and characteristics. So it's easy to get confused. You know, my understanding is that the DSMV is not really clear.
I think they moved down there. They're at 5 now, not 4. So yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they put Asperger's back in there.
I don't know.
But anyway, this is exciting. I mean, this mom captures it very well when she says that they're very proud, excited, and terrified all at the same time. And I can understand that, because I was proud, excited, and terrified with a child who was not with special needs going off to college. It's a frightening period for a parent. Mm-hmm. But it's I think, and I could tell the mom's pride does come out, the parents' pride does come out, and she should be proud. I'm proud
mm-hmm.
of her. That's amazing. And I thank you for sharing this story with us, because too many times we focus on the negative,
yes.
what they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
They can't, many of them, well, at least some of them, I don't know how many, I would be interested in seeing
how many,
what the percentages are along your high functioning, your average, your moderate, your low level, and then your almost non-functioning in the spectrum. But this is just a story that gives parents hope, mm-hmm. because she's going to be okay.
It's good to hear stories all along the spectrum, mm-hmm. because there's all the parents need support, all the families need support, mm-hmm. So they don't feel like they're the only ones struggling through.
And it's important,
or succeeding, or whatever they need.
And it's important because I know for the longest time, and we're still struggling with this, finding support for adults mm-hmm. with Asperger's and autism. It's very difficult to find anything like that that's not like 2 hours, 3 hours away. If that, I mean, mm-hmm. it's just very difficult. So hearing about what works for you and whatever spectrum it is and whatever age group you're dealing with, or maybe even you yourself, for some of the people that we've had in the group say that they have had Asperger's or autistic spectrum. We've had a couple.
And I'm trying to remember which society. I think it's Autism Society. It might be a different one. One of the groups focuses a lot on support for family and siblings.
I think it's Autism Society.
I think it's Autism Society, but I can't. I remember doing more research on that last year. This year I haven't had as much chance to research. It's been kind of a tough year for that.
Right. So, yeah, I was going to do more on this one, but both of the moms know who they are. I think I want to. Next week is the week before Maryland Sheep Wool, so maybe that's the best time to do this.
Okay.
For this particular one, I don't want to forget this one because this is also good. But I want.
And this is the first one we received.
This is the first one I received.
When I thought we were doing both in a row, I wanted to do an anonymous one first so we didn't mix up the stories.
And this one's a little bit longer, and I wanted to do it justice as well. This one was shorter and easier to be concise about. This one I don't want to miss anything because it's a little bit longer. So we will get to this one next week, most likely. I want you to know, both of you mothers, thank you very much for sharing the stories. And the one that we are missing, we will do next week when we have a little, when we're a little less rushed. I don't want to mix things up and confuse.
No, and I think it's probably best to do one story a week anyway.
Right.
Because then that particular story gets focused.
And you get to think about it and think about the positives of this particular story, which is I wish her all the luck in her schooling and new experiences. So thank you very much for that. Okay, do you have anything on the baby hats?
Thank you everyone who has sent baby hats. I've received a couple messages that baby hats might be on the way, so thank you.
Yeah, we've a couple on the thread as well. So that's really cool. The baby hats are just adorable. They just are so cute. Is there anything else that we need to know about before we head into rough drafts?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, how many do you have?
I have... My eyes are burning a little bit for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I have 8.
After you.
Okay.
How do you only... You are such a slacker. Only
I know,
8?
I only have 8.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you?
Okay. My tea.
I'm embarrassed to be sitting next to you.
You'll get over it.
No. There's no getting over it.
In my knitting packing knits made me laugh. She was so cute.
You're knitting by packing knits?
Packing knits made me laugh. I was watching her podcast today, her new one. If you haven't watched it, you might want to go check it out. I want my pen right. She's growing pineapples, and she has all kinds of animals and things. Anyway, she was talking about her podcast. Thank you, Packing Knits. And she was saying how she loves seeing all our projects and feels kind of sad when they go away, but then they're replaced by something really quick. So amazing. Thank you, Packing Knits. You made me smile. Appreciate that, Heidi. Anyway, moving on to my project. In my Knitting's My Bag, French Lady's Bag, I have my Pinktober shawl, which is getting very close to being done. Taya was helping me to figure out what I want to do for the sides if I decide I want to do a crochet border or just a more even edging. So
what yarn do you have?
This now somebody had commented on my yarn.
You might want to start doing that edging we talked about pretty soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. This is I'm not sure. Somebody had commented on the yarn, and I'm not sure who it was because I didn't recognize the name. I'm sorry. Said that they liked my rose yarn, and I'm assuming it's the one that she meant in the shawl because she wanted to see the shawl finished. This one was Kool-Aid dyed, and
it was one of your first dyeing attempts. Actually.
Yeah, one of my first. And it's I don't even remember what I used. I probably have my notes somewhere.
I don't think you were doing notes at that point.
I was doing rough notes, but I just wanted to clarify which yarn she was talking about. So I don't know if I did write her a note, so maybe she'll let me know. But it's almost done. Like that. It's very much bunched up on the needles here, so I'm not quite sure how far. But it is, when it's not bunched, when I kind of did half and half, like I, let's see,
And it is more of a rose,
Like
like
that.
more likely to be a color you'd wear.
Yeah, I'll wear this, but I don't have a whole lot of yarn left, so I'm going to start. I want the wrong side row to be the row I do the yarn overs on.
Well,
because
you
that's-
don't really have a wrong side or right side. You're in garter stitch.
But I do have increases. I want it to be on the side when I do the increase. I don't do increases all the time.
You don't.
I have an increase row.
I don't think you need to. We'll discuss this later, but I don't think you need to do increases when you're doing this.
No, I'm not going to. I was just saying that I want to make sure that the yarn overs are on the same size that the increase was on.
Doesn't make a difference, but okay.
But sizes does make a difference, so we'll see. So I'm hoping to finish this up relatively quickly. Whether or not it ends up with a crocheted border remains to be seen. And these are on my Knit Pig circulars. They are interchangeables. These are not the Caspians. These are Harmonies, and they're size 9s. And I'm enjoying this. It's been a long time in the making, just because I got Project ADD. It's not a hard project. It's out of my own head, so it's not that difficult. Except when I make it difficult. Like when I twist it up around the handle here. Okay, so that's basically that one. And you're next.
I know it's weird. I'm actually next.
I'll poke myself.
Well, stop doing that. I have here this is Kay's Fault Mitered Square Blankets, and Laura Smoot had asked, Spinning Laura had asked what weight I'm using. I am using I'm using scrap Sport, DK, and Worsted weight yarns. And by scrap, I also mean that I am buying mini skeins for it.
And have people making it for
And
you.
have people making it for me. So I did almost 4 squares this week. This one was you actually saw me get these 2 squares on the podcast.
Those are
These were sent
Christina's.
by Christina, Mama C.
Christina, I did receive your PM. I will respond as soon as I'm able. Okay, just I want to let you know that.
So these turned out very nicely. Thank you, Christina. Now I'm started in the Lady Fernicle yarn section of my blankets. It's the center section, going up and down.
Davina picked the color.
Yeah, well,
as if you didn't know.
This one I chose to go next, and then every once in a while I let Davina pick the next color to come, and she picked this one.
Of course she did.
And yellow is her favorite color. I gave her like a handful. Which of these do you think should come next? So there are ones that I was okay with coming after this yarn anyway.
I like this one.
Yeah, I can't remember what you called this one.
I have that on my project page.
But, yes.
I think it's called something Desert Sunset or something.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I think that's what it is, Desert Sunset.
But yes. This one has to be like butter or...
No, it's Daffodil.
Oh, that's right, daffodil. I was going to say we're walking on sunshine.
Walking on sunshine.
So yes, this blanket did get some work. It does make me happy. I have knit about... I'm on my 5th row.
Ooh, did you see the blanket that Ange in the East, I think it's Ange in the East, I want to say Angela in the East, but I think it's Ange in the East. She posted on one of the threads, I'm not sure if it was in the enabling thread, a blanket called Skittles.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
And it's crocheted, and I picked it up. It's free. You should check it out. It's really brightly colored. If you're looking for a blanket that's fun to make for autism awareness with all those bright colors for Skittles, it's really cute. I'm probably not going to be able to start it for a while because my wrist won't tolerate it right now, but I want to make that blanket. It is so cute. And she tells you how to adjust for different sizes, apparently. So that might be something to look at. Thank you for doing that, Angela.
It is Ange in the East, but I can't remember if she's Andrea or if she's Angela.
She's Angela.
Okay.
I just couldn't remember if it was Ange in the East or Angela in the East.
Ange in the East.
Yeah. Okay, my turn?
It is.
My turn. Okay, where is it? No, that's not it.
I'm interested in seeing where I'll be at my year point of working on this, because I started this in October or something like that.
Right. Oh, yay. Okay, in my Silver Shed USA, yes, the Silver Shed USA cute little wild animals, little woodland animals, hedgehogs and squirrels and such. There's no owls. Oh, there they are. There are owls. Okay.
I was going to say, I thought you picked up because of owls.
Yeah, when I picked it up from Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is my trying something different block, and I think I'm almost finished with it. These are on size 10.5. And this is an Aran Weight Yarns Hobby Lobby. I think this is Hobby Lobby.
It looks like Hobby Lobby.
So
It might be Yarn Bee.
no, I don't think it's Yarn Bee. It's not the same kind of feel. And I don't usually buy Yarn Bee in worsted or Aran Weight.
Mm.
So that's what it looks like. It's hard to see the square because it's just
Well, the cable.
the cable.
And your needle's not long enough for us to stretch
Yeah.
it.
So these are the needles are Chai Goos, the regular Chai Goos, and I won't elaborate how much I prefer the red lace, but these are fine for this.
It's red lace. Woo, bubbles.
Bubbles.
Sorry,
I'm hoping
screensaver.
I'm hoping to have this done pretty quickly, and that's probably my mother because I left a message for her earlier today.
Do you need me to pause?
You might want to pause it, and I'll.
Call from 1540.
No.
Oh, no, hold on one second. We do want to
Second.
pause. Okay, so
we're
she
back.
moves oops between us, and then she says, this bunny does not eat its babies. And I'm just like,
You have
why
to
does she do
understand
this?
the context of the conversation. We were having one this morning.
She kept telling me that bunnies eat their babies, and then I had to look it up, and I was very upset and disappointed when I found that out, and I had to go and watch cute bunny videos to make myself feel better.
Yes. Okay, so
I found
anyway,
this really cute lop-eared bunny video.
I love
with the,
lop-ears.
with the little lop-ear running around the house.
it was in Holland, I think.
Yeah.
And the little boy, that person had a clean house.
He did. But the bunny kept slipping on the wood floor.
It was so funny. The cat was wanting to like pick it up by the scruff of the neck,
Mhm.
but it was really cute.
But it
anyway,
made me feel better because that bunny doesn't eat its babies.
oh, it's too young to have babies. Anyway, so I think I probably said about as much as I need to say about this. Hopefully I'll have this finished relatively quickly. Have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but there you go. I'm just playing with it.
Plating.
Plating. Okay.
Ah, there we go. Alrighty, let's see. Next one is in my Silver Shed Froggy's bag. This is, I think, my first Silver Shed bag. I think you gave this one to me.
I thought I bought you a different one.
I thought you gave this one to me.
I don't know what all your bags were. I don't know. We buy each other a lot of bags. I don't know what I bought her.
This is my first one, I'm pretty sure. And in here is my design in progress. And actually I had to move the main part of the design out of the bag because it got too big for the bag.
Yeah, it wants to come out and see everybody, so she had to move it.
But it can't see everybody because it's a secret. But
A big secret.
Yes. I am using, I can at least show you the yarn without actually showing you the yarn.
Is anybody surprised by this yarn? I'm wondering.
Why does it say quicksand? I know, oh, this is an old yarn
Ball band.
ball band. Okay. Well, it might not have, oh, there it is. Hold on. Trying to pull this out without showing the actual yarn.
Well, you can see a little bit.
No, they can't. I was looking up there while I was doing it. Okay, so this is Werewolf.
The base we want to bring
Yep,
back.
the base we want to bring back. Okay, listen to how awesome this base is. So it's 100% merino, DK, 400 yards.
Perfect yarn.
That's nice yardage.
Yes.
And this is undead yarn.
Of course it is. Because you're making a toy with it.
This is some hoarded deep stash.
What's the color you said it was?
I didn't.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
You do know what it is, but they don't. Although they,
I think I bought it for you.
you might have.
Yeah.
No, I picked it up when she was putting it on sale,
Right.
and I was basically buying up all the werewolf.
I remember you bought up, yeah.
I was, yes, very perturbed.
Yes. Heidi had unhappy campers over in the undead yarn.
In the PHN.
PHN contingent of the undead yarn.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
So,
but we
yes.
forgave her.
yes.
Especially since she's thinking about bringing it back. In my Knitting's my bag. Gnome. Lazy gnome bag. I don't know why they call it the lazy gnomes, but they're...
Because they look rather like industrious gnomes to me.
Yep, except for this one who's sleeping. But, okay. Is my Obi-Wan hat project, which is the bankhead hat, which is all Dan's fault. And I made some progress on this. I'm not quite at 3 inches yet, but there it is. And this is Packing Its worsted weight yarn in the kaleidoscope colorway. And it is, I don't know if I have the ball band still. Let's see.
It'd be more appropriate if you lost it because it's inspired by Dan.
Yes. Yes, it would be. Kaleidoscope superwash wool, worsted weight, 220 yards, 100 grams. So this is, yeah. So this will stretch a little, I guess, when I wash it.
I usually, after I cake up my yarn, fold up my yarn band and stick it in the middle of my yarn ball.
That's what I've been doing.
Because then I always have my ball band with me.
I usually do that, but when I get to a certain point, it comes out. So, I'll put it back in there. So yeah, I'm enjoying this very much.
I don't work from my center.
No, I don't either.
I work from around.
Every time I work from the center, it gets tangled.
Yeah, same here.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. My stitches are mostly even. I have a couple places where it's a little loose, but it's okay.
Getting better all the time.
Beetles, beetles, beetles. Okay, so that's that.
Okay, my next project is in my Plover Bird TARDIS bag, bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside.
Oomph.
Carrots. Carrots. I'm getting warm.
So this is Bert and Ernie. This is the Impressions pattern by Agnes Kataz Karetzes. And I am using Knitted Wit DK Superwash Merino in the colorways Yams and Miss Babs Yowza What a Skein in the colorway Squash Blossom. I finished using Squash Blossom for this project.
It does have a lot of the
it does have a lot
orange.
of the orange.
Yeah. That's pretty.
And this is not anywhere near the intended colors for this project. But I'm starting the lace section for the orange. And the nice thing about the lace section is it tells you can go as long as you want with it. So I actually think I have an extra skein of this orange. I had too little of it to go and do the large size, but I have enough of it to make as large of a small size as I want.
That works.
So, yes. You can't really see the lace yet because I had done like the first 2 rows of the lace chart.
Very nice.
Yes.
Look at that pattern.
And she always
It's not doing it justice.
No, it's not. Partially because it's really not the point where the lace has started.
No, I'm talking about this part here.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
And it's got baubles on the yellow and everything. I'm not a huge fan of baubles, the way they look, or working them. I can do it. And I just don't... The same reason I don't like vegetation in my yarn, or the same reason I don't like yarn with flex in it.
I don't think anybody likes vegetation
Or
in their yarn.
I don't like flex in my yarn. I always pick them out unconsciously.
No, you're conscious.
Or semi-consciously. Baubles kind of give me the same feel. They're not neat.
You like the baubles in my thing.
It's pretty in your thing.
Well, it's pretty in that too.
But I keep wanting to pick it out. You know, like Poirot.
She's not consistent.
You know how Poirot can't stand things to be.
I keep thinking about Poirot. I forget which one
Poirot?
it was. Poirot saying in one of the cases, he says, "This case is entirely the wrong shape."
Well, he likes things round.
Well, he likes things to be, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how often has he discovered the proper clue because he's fixing something?
Right.
Anyway.
Well, I remember the one where the chair was in the wrong place. He said, "Who sits this way?" The chair was in the wrong place. It was, yeah. Sorry, I like Poirot, so. Okay.
And David Suchet is the only Poirot.
Yes. Okay. All right. My next one is my Hope the Owl, and I did a lot of work on this. This is I thought I might have her finished, but I don't. this is my bag, Autism Awareness, large sweater size bag. I am, let's see here, got my pieces here. This is Packing Knits sport weight yarn in the Autism Awareness / Chinese Lanterns colorway. And here's the head, minus the beak. Here's the body with the beak inside. So that's 2 parts.
3 parts. If you count
3 parts. Yeah, count the beak. Here's one finished wing. And the funny thing about this wing I thought was finished. When I was making that one, I realized it was the second page. So I had to find out.
Yes, she has tested this pattern before,
Yes,
and she has made it multiple times.
I was tired. So I reconnected the yarn, and I'm working on the last part of that. And after that, all I had to do is make the tail and put it together. So hopefully Hope will be done for the next podcast. I don't guarantee it, but I'm hoping so. And I hope that I have enough. This is all the yarn I have left. So I have to finish the wing and do the tail. I think I'll be fine. She gave me a good amount of yardage in here, so I should be fine. I'm done with the other colors. I don't need any other colors. I just need to finish up with the rainbow.
And we have the ability to podcast either on Monday or Friday next week. It depends if we want a short or a long.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get to that point. We'll put
because
a
I
note.
actually don't have overtime this week, which is weird.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We will let you know in the thread if we don't decide before the end of the podcast when we're going to podcast. But yeah, this is coming along. I like the owls. I think the owl is my favorite pattern. No surprise there, I guess. Of Talia's, and I like her bunny. I like her kitten, but I think the owl is my favorite. So, in fact, I have yarn for another one, and I'm thinking about dyeing up my owl colorway and making an owl out of that. So we'll see. My husband's like, "How many owls do you need?"
All of them.
All of them. Just as many as I have shawls, apparently.
She's trying to compete with Laura with the turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a long way to go for that.
In my Mama C Christina bag, this is my tutor bag.
You mean your Christina Mama C bag?
Yes, that too. This is Icy Fire, which is the Neapolitan pattern by K.F. Jones, the Baker Bears fame. I'm using Neighborhood Fiber Company yarn in the base, rustic fingering, and the colorway is Eastern Market, that's the red orange, Del Rey, that's yellow orange, and Penn North, that's yellow. And this is Deep Stash. It's not going to look like I did a lot of work on it because I didn't do a lot of work on it.
Isn't that pretty?
Other projects have been getting more love, and also this is a bit of a short week. Basically, we podcasted on
Wednesday.
We podcasted on Wednesday. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Was off yesterday, and then we podcasted today. So I didn't have a lot of time to get a lot of knitting done.
You got a fair amount done, considering.
So I have my notes that I did this before the podcast. I don't remember it, but apparently I did.
Apparently you did what?
Work on it between last podcast and now.
Yeah, I get that way. Sometimes like, wait a minute, I think I didn't. Did I work on this?
But I try to write it down in my notes as I do it, so I guess I must have worked on it, just don't remember it.
Yeah, I tend to go to my computer and fix my notes when I do it. Otherwise, I get really confused. Okay, my next project is in my Kikiboo Christmas Owls bag. I don't care if it's not Christmas. You know, it's just the owls giving gifts.
She has Christmas in her heart.
Yes.
You should always keep Christmas
in your heart. I am not a Scrooge. Okay, I started a new baby hat. Another preemie one. And you guys might recognize this yarn if you've been with the podcast for a while. I made a baby hat, one of George's patterns with this, 10 hours or less. His, I forget what it's called, Frigid. His Frigid baby hat. Out of this yarn.
To which you did not add a fringe.
I did not. I do not like fringe. But I like that hat. Focus. There we go. So it's just starting. You can't really see what it looks like or the color.
Oh, and JD, yay for loom knitting.
Yes, that's so exciting, JD. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. And Davina was very proud of you. So this is the smallest loom, and I'm getting excited now because now that I'm getting back into doing the crafting and I'm easing up on other things that were stressing me out a little bit, I'm looking into doing other things on the looms besides the hats, learning how to do different stitches and things. And don't look for it to be really soon, because I'm starting to look at other things for regular knitting too. So, but I am having fun exploring, you know, the different kinds of crafting, the loom knitting, the regular knitting, the crocheting, and the dyeing. And I think that's plenty, don't you? Of course, I do want to do some designing, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So that's this. And the funny thing is, George, while she's designing crochet, I think if I design, it's going to be knit. Go figure.
Go figure.
So, I miss George. Where are you, George? Okay.
Come out wherever you are.
Yes. We miss you. Okay.
He's probably off designing something awesome somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. He's got such a talented individual. Your turn.
Okay. In my...
My tea is
I
cold.
didn't actually work on this one.
Cold.
Let me put this one away. I don't think I worked on this one. I don't have it in my notes that I worked on this one. Probably not, because each row for this one takes a long time.
Oh, is that your
This is the on the forest floor, and I
Right.
didn't have a lot of time to work on that one.
I was very cut up this week with all the stuff. You know, if she was home and we were able to, we'd go for a walk because she needs to get some exercise and get outside, and then just various things that kind of took up time, and then just being sleepy. It's been a very tiring week for some reason.
Okay, so in my
Avengers bag.
Hawkeye by Silver Shed is my sock knitter's shawl, which is by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears. I call this shawl Nightwing. And I saw your comment, Allison, 2 podcasts ago. I just haven't
about the
responded
sweater?
yet. Yes, you do
Yes.
recognize this yarn.
She's not hyperventilating anymore.
Okay, good. If you start hyperventilating again, just,
Put your head between
put your head between your knees. Take
Sit
a few
down
deep
first.
breaths. Sit
Sit down
down. Yes,
first.
don't try to do that standing. You might fall over. As funny as that might be.
Allison is
Or lay down. Laying down's okay too.
For those of you who don't know, Allison's a fairly long time viewer, and she knows what this yarn was beforehand. And
Yeah, it was almost a fully complete sweater.
So we tease her about it.
Yes.
She's a good sport. Thank you for being such a good sport, Allison.
Yes. But this is a lovely Miss Babs Yazawada skein. The color is Fountain Pen. And it will be the edging to this lovely shawl.
We're going to see Miss Babs in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see her there. She's usually there.
Dad calls her Babsy.
Yeah. I'm getting mail from Babsy again.
And we're like, you can unsubscribe. He's like, no.
Because he wants to complain about it.
But Babsy.
Yes. We love Miss Babs. She's fantastic.
But this is more Miss Babs here. This is slate? No, I think I wrote it down here. Pewter.
It's dark.
I picked this up at the last Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Yeah.
I think I picked this up at the last Maryland Sheep and Wool. Yes, I did. And I'm in Melva Row.
Yeah, because before that you were doing a lot more fingering weight.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
So now it's popping up a little bit. There we go. I love this color.
It's a beautiful color. Very rich. I love the fact that it's not flat.
Yes.
My husband says, why don't you just do a flat color? I don't like the yarn not to have depth to it, and kind of some kind of very subtle variations, even if it's a solid, more of a semi-solid. It's not to say there's not a place for the solids. I like the straight solids when I'm doing, like ties and complicated cable work and things like that. That's really nice with it. But for the most part, I like a little bit of variance in the yarn.
So this got some love. I think this was in church knitting this week.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, my next one is, I didn't get a lot of work, but I did a little bit of work. I got a little confused because I'm doing, this is my baby charity, which is the We Penelope pattern by, I think it's Tega Hillard Designs. I think that's how she says her name. And this is using the Autism Awareness colorway from last year, 462 yards of fingering. This is the Vampiri base, so it's very, very soft. And it doesn't look like I made a lot of progress because this is a really light weight yarn. But I was confused because I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to increase to start, I guess, for the shoulders. And it says, increase this many stitches. I'm a new knitter. I don't know what that means. How do you want me to increase? I know, I understand I can increase any way I want. I'll do a knit front and back. I don't
usually they mean, when they say it like that, is increase equally. There is, oh, you don't own it. I have the little pink book of, it's called Knit Speak. And that book is awesome.
I need to get that.
That taught me a lot of what I know about knitting.
I'm going to have to get that because I'm knitting more than I thought I would. Mm-hmm. I'm knitting a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, and it tells you how to do the math for it, when it's flat, when it's in the round.
Because I'm confused. I'm just looking at it, okay, I know you want me to do this many stitches increase. I can do, you don't have to tell me what increase if you don't want to. I can figure that out. But I don't understand how to figure out where to put them.
Yeah, you know, Knit Speak. I should just give you the pink book because I use it on Kindle mostly now. But that book I still use occasionally if I need to double check something.
But I do love the way it works out. This is what it looks like in the skein. This, like I said, this is last year. Well, it's actually in a ball now.
And it's not a book with pretty pictures or anything like that. It's got pictures, but it's not like photographs. It's sketches.
Isn't this gorgeous?
It's a good book.
Isn't this gorgeous? I
mean, it is gorgeous. And that's Heidi.
That's Heidi's last. And I think she's done some like that this year as well. I was impressed with the variation that she's had this year. It makes it exciting.
Because, you know.
Because I was afraid if I bought more, I would get the same thing. But no, I love what she made for Laura Concert. I absolutely love mine. That. It's absolutely beautiful. I have to figure out what I would do with it first. So, because I don't want it to just sit there. Okay, so that's that. And I'm using size 4s. I thought I was using 3s. Huh.
What?
I have size 3. Oh no, size 3 is 6 months. Use 4s. I thought I was using size 3 needles, but I'm using size 4s. Okay.
Let me just draw this through.
How many more do you have?
This square. Well, you had 8 and I had 7.
But you said one was.
Oh, that's right. I have 2 more. Go ahead.
You have 2 more?
Yeah.
Oh, I have 2 more as well. So go ahead.
How did that work out?
I must have missed one, or something.
No, you said 3 more.
No, that one has an FO in it. That one has an FO in it. I already did what the whip was in there. So I have 2 more.
How did that work out?
You must have missed one, or I must have missed one.
Huh. Okay.
We're mathematical geniuses.
Because if you had 8 and I had 7. Okay, so in the York the Owl. Wow, I am a little bit
punchy. Always.
Discombobulated. In the
There's bunny on your head. There's bunny on your head.
In the Plover Bird TARDIS bag, smaller one, is Carney, which is my York the Owl pattern, and I'm using Miss Babs Yowza skein in the colorway Perfectly Reckless and Squash Blossom with some nit picks thrown in for eyes.
And you'll recognize the Perfectly Reckless.
Yeah, from a pair of socks that I knit. I wore those at work and it was awesome. They are my new favorite socks. The what's the name of the socks? Dance All Night socks.
Is that the actual name of them?
Yes. That's why I had to look it up. So, trying to find my owl head. There it is.
So cute. Look how tiny.
So I finished the owl head.
And that's using a larger hook than I'm using with a larger yarn. I'm using a sport weight and you're using Miss Babs, which is a DK.
My gauge is just very, very tight.
Yeah.
Which is, actually, I think I've started giving warning on my patterns. Particularly if you're worried about gauge. I'm a very tight crocheter. And most people's toys are going to end up bigger than mine. And I think my crocheting has gotten tighter as I've been designing.
Well, I think because you're doing toys so much, so you're pulling it tighter. I'm just going down hook sizes now that I found the right hooks for me to use. I can go down the hook sizes. The only problem is if it's so small that it snags the yarn in the middle.
But I mean, you can see there's not any spaces in my crocheting.
Yeah.
And I'm using a E-hook. Yeah, an E-hook.
So you're using a bigger one than I am, because I'm using a what am I using? Where's Hope? I'm using a 2.5 millimeter.
Yeah, and this is 3.5 millimeter. And these are the armoire hooks that are put out by.
It's not Clover, is it?
I think it is Clover Armoire.
The one I'm using, I think, actually is European. But
so this is a 3.5 millimeter E-hook. There's my little owl head, and I just started a little owl body.
So cute.
So
she sold my owl. She sold Mithril.
Well,
she sold
coworker
Mithril.
was having a baby.
I don't care about your coworker.
Another coworker wanted to buy him for her.
I don't care. She sold
So
my
he
owl.
sat at the nurse's station on a Sunday until the coworker on day shift went home. Because I was just being a little bit joking at her. Oh yeah, you should keep him up there so he can make you feel better while you're charged today. And she stuck him there before I left. I took a couple of pictures. When I came back into work that next night, he was still sitting at the same place he had been when I had left. So he supervised things.
I don't think I'm going to forgive her for that.
I can always make you another one. I still have another skein of
I can
Smog's
make one for
treasure.
myself, but it's not the point. Mean and nasty. Okay, my next one is...
I told you I wasn't going to give him to you.
I don't care what you told me. Okay, in my Stitched by Mimi bag by Sandy, love this bag, is my Under the Boardwalk, which is the Sock Knitter's Shawl by K.F. Jones.
What are you going to do with another owl?
Is that a rhetorical question? This is what I wanted to work besides the owl. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, that's the right side. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that yarn. This is Miss Babs, the Owlswood skein in the Reishi colorway. And I just love this. It's so pretty. And I don't know if I brought it on the camera last time what I'm thinking about.
This tea is very good even when it gets cold.
This is what I'm going to be using for the border. So
yeah, that looks great. I love that.
I don't want to take it out.
The funny thing is, she's working more of my colors. I'm working more of her colors.
Yeah. I just like this. It's so pretty. I love the way this works out in a DK worsted. It goes a little faster, and I like the fabric. I may use size 8s instead of 9s next time, but I might not. I love, and the color, Miss Babs is perfect for this because Kay has enough simplicity in it that you can have the
pattern.
I don't know if you probably call this a tonal, I guess. I don't know if it's a
Yeah,
variegated.
because it was actually, I think she intended it for like variegated and stuff like that.
I don't know, but the pattern is such that it really pops no matter what kind of yarn you use. And so I'm really enjoying this. I'm using my Chai Gu red lace. 6 circulars, of course.
Best needles.
These are my favorite needles, in case anybody has any doubts. Yeah, and I hope to work on that some more this week. I don't think I'll have it finished by Marilyn Sheep and Wool, but that's okay.
So in my, let me cut this. What do I do with my scissors? I must have put them away. In my PHN silver shred bag, hang on, let me cut this end. Finish it square on the podcast. Boink. In my silver shred PHN bag are my
Stretch.
Super Bat socks, which are the Dance All Night slouch sock pattern, which is the Dance All Night slouch socks
Are you still working on that?
by Erica Dubkowski. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you finished it. Oh, no, you're right. Okay, gotcha. You're doing another pair.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
the other one were Reckless Dancing.
I want a pair of socks. I don't make socks. I want a pair of socks.
Well,
I want a pair of socks
you
for my
have a
birthday.
loom.
I want
And
a pair of socks from you for my birthday. Or for Christmas. I have the same size foot as you do. You can make me a pair of socks. Can't she make me a pair of
or
socks?
you can learn to use the loom.
She can make me a pair of socks. What does making my own pair of socks have to do with anything?
That's like asking someone to paint the Mona Lisa for you.
I don't think so. Oh, you got far. Oh, look at that.
I did some knitting at work. We had some downtime.
Okay.
So there we go.
Wow, look at that.
Turn the heel. And
Does this bother you right here?
no, it's actually very comfortable. It fits the heel perfectly.
Cool.
And it has garter down at the, not garter, it has reverse stockinettes at the bottom of the foot, so the pearl bumps don't rub against your foot. Not that I've ever noticed they bothered overly, but I like the concept.
Some people are really sensitive under there.
Yeah, so.
I'm not sensitive on the heel so much as under the ball of my foot.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the arch of the foot. I get ticklish.
So, yep, there we go.
Very nice.
I'm very happy with these. And I'm very happy about the fact that when I weave in the ends, I don't have 20 million to weave in at the heel.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, I just picked up a free pattern that I was trying to think I was going to do a specific yarn for it. I might still, but I'm going to use Laura's for it, I think.
Okay.
Sorry.
This was yarn that I received from Laura Concert.
That's what made me think of it.
But yes, about to head into the foot, and I did a size up in yarn because it's actually this pattern calls for a worsted weight. This is a DK yarn.
Well, yeah, okay, gotcha. It's not Miss Babs.
No, it's not. I used Miss Babs for the last pair. And also, in all reality, the size I knit them out of the first time, I was just barely that size. This is probably more correct for my foot.
Did you stay the same size and just went down the yarn, or did you switch the size?
I switched the size. I probably should have been the larger size of foot anyway. Initially, the socks, the first pair of socks was a little hard to get on. Then I washed them and then wore them, and it helped them.
Right.
But this size, I think, will be a lot better.
Cool.
So.
Okay, so I did the bonfire shawl in my bag that Blair gave me for my birthday this year. Thank you, Blair. My pretty fruit bag. My fruit bat bag, because that's where my bat was. It was the first project I put in here was Bruce the Bat. So I call it my fruit bat bag from Blair. This is my Under the Boardwalk shawl. It's a Drea shawl pattern by Craig Rosenfeld, and I blame Melissa for this, Spicy Homemaker.
Undead Heidi's making this as well.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was blaming Spicy Homemaker as well.
She can take the hit.
I think that's who she was blaming.
I think that, I know it doesn't look like I made a lot of progress on this, and the reason was I was waiting for some stitch markers to come through so I could mark stitch markers, because you have to have a certain amount of stitches when you are done. So I kind of marked them like every 10, 15, or 20, depending on the amount. But I did do a few rows on this. I keep getting it tangled, so I put it in two different bags. Inside my bag, I've got two Knitting's My Bag sock-size bags to try and keep the yarn from tangling. So if anybody has any kind of suggestion for that. But this is how far I am. I'm only about 20 or 25 rows in. I have to do like a certain number before I drop the contrast color, which is that lighter color. And then when I get to that point, I'll just continue in the main color for the rest of the shawl. And I just have to figure out, in fact, I'm going to have to talk to Melissa because she enlarged hers, and I want to see how she did that. Mm-hmm. And maybe she can tell me if it has to be a multiple or something, because I don't think it's on her project page. But I'm using Chai-Gu's US 5s that I had to order because I tried using different needles and it wasn't working. I wanted my Chai-Gu red lace, so there. So I got that, and I'm enjoying it. I like this pattern. I think it's actually going to work for these yarn. I must have pulled this yarn, the combination of these two yarns, out like 5 times for different projects. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to work, so I'm happy about that. Because the yarn is special to me. I was given the contrasting color, the tannish color, by Turbo Knitter. He was the first one to give me, one of the first ones to give me yarn. I can't remember if he or Heidi was the very, very first one to give me yarn, but one of the very first ones to give me yarn. And then the blue one is from Cappy913, who is Kathy from the Knit Nerd podcast, who's no longer podcasting. Yeah. And the yarn means a lot to me, so I want to make sure I use it. Yeah, okay, so that's that.
I'm out of projects.
I'm out of projects. Do you have an FO?
I do not.
Okay.
I do have an FO. Very cool.
I do. Just give me a second here. I have to write Turbo Knitter down. I probably should write Kathy as well.
Yes. And it was kept by, yes.
I don't know if you can read that. Let me see. Cat B913.
Her handwriting is notoriously terrible.
She should talk. Okay, in my bag, which you've already seen, is also a finished object. This is my
Hold on, I need help choosing my next color. I already did this one. Hold on, that's not working.
While she's doing that, here's the finished preemie hat.
Aww.
So that one's done, and that one's going to be going to the pregnancy center. I like this color for hats. So that goes to you.
Thank you.
I have pictures so you can have it.
Okay, hang on, before you next. Okay, Mom. So, I have this yellow here, and underneath that is, underneath the next square is going to be this, color right here. So, Mom, here, this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one that I overdyed Miss Babs, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's that. Now, do you have a writer's block?
I'm trying to remember what writer's block is.
That's either hibernation or getting rid of it.
I do not.
I do. I have decided, last week I had told you that I was putting in hibernation, the Hopes and Dreams project, which is another sock knitter shawl by K.F. Jones. I have 2 of them on the needles besides this third one. I am going to take that one off the needles. I am not willing to do a third fingering weight sock knitter shawl at this particular time. I need to figure out what I want to use Heidi's yarn for, because at the Atlantis colorway, she gave me one of the yarns. It's a wonderful base, and I want to make something out of it. I don't want to make a Hopes and Dreams out of it. I don't want to make the sock knitter shawl with that right now. So it is going to go in hibernation until I decide, well, the yarn's going in hibernation until I decide what to do with it. That particular pattern is going to be
That
frog.
project is going to be
that. Yeah, that project is going to be frog. I still have 2 on the needles. I love the pattern.
and
I
you love the yarn.
and I love the yarn.
Ditch the yarn and the pattern.
It's just I don't like the yarn and the pattern together. So,
I'm not sure if even that's true. I think you just
yeah, I just
don't feel like working.
I don't feel like working another sock weight one. I've got a DK worsted and a sock weight already in the works in that pattern, and I had to tear one of them back a whole lot to the mallard one because of a mistake. So I didn't want to have another sock weight one on the needles. That may come back later. Or those 2 yarns might be used for something else. I love both the pattern and the yarn, but it's going away as a sock knitter shawl. It's just sitting there, so I'm going to get rid of it for now. Okay. Anything else?
I don't have any royalties. Do you?
Yeah, I got a pair of Chai-Gu.
Oh wait, I do have royalties. I lied. But go
How
ahead.
many?
1.
Okay, I'll do one, then you can do one. I'll do my other one. I got a pair of Chai-Gu red lace size 9s because, as you saw, my not on the boardwalk, the gold. I can't even think of my name of the thing now. The one I'm doing for Kay's sock knitter shawl. I'm gonna look for it. The yellow orange
Ricci?
one. Yeah,
Ricci?
the Ricci one. Yes. It is the Bonfire Shawl, which is from the Sock Knitter Shawl by K.F. Jones. I had to buy needles for that. I had to buy some red lace for that. So that's where I bought it, and it is in the pattern, so I can't show you. Did you want to? Oh, wait, let's show the thing that we share. When Melissa sent us, Spicy Homemaker, when she sent us the yarn for you guys, for the prize, for the Autism Awareness, she sent us chocolate. And not just any chocolate. She asked me what kind of chocolate we liked, and she got the most awesome chocolate. She got, this is good stuff, Ghirardelli milk chocolate and caramel chocolate, which we will share, both of them. Isn't that awesome? Thank you very much, Melissa. And she sent us the sweetest little note. Where's it? I'm not going to read it to you, but I want to show you the envelope. Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
So we were very appreciative of that. She was so generous as it was. We didn't expect anything for ourselves. It was very nice of her to ask and very nice of her to send.
Yes.
We appreciate that very, very much. Podcasters and knitters are very, very generous people. So we appreciate this. Thank you, Melissa. Yummy, yummy, yummy. In my tummy. I'm surprised this lasted this long.
Mhm. This was
Came in Saturday, didn't it?
I don't know. I was
Did
working.
it come in yesterday or Saturday?
I don't remember. My
I don't
days
remember.
are blending together.
Melissa could tell me because I wrote to her when it came in, but I don't remember exactly when it came. So, at any event, it's amazing that it's still here.
It's not in a bag. This was Undead Heidi's fault.
You mean Nitty Girl?
Yes, Undead Heidi.
Undead Heidi on Instagram.
Well, I always call her Undead Heidi to differentiate from
Packing Knits Heidi?
Packing Knits Heidi. So she told me that there are mini skeins being sold by Fiber Nymph.
Yeah.
And I've never tried Fiber Nymph yarn, but she said it wasn't only mini skeins, it was worsted weight mini skeins. So
Isn't that gorgeous?
bought this kit. Look at that.
The set.
It's a set. And I'm going to have to make sure that it's in a section of Lake where all these can be together.
Probably one end, maybe.
And it's Aqua Shock, Fuchsia, Chartreuse, Lime, and Pumpkin.
Those are pretty colors. Very nice.
So I've never used Fiber Nymph, and I'm rather excited about it.
Yeah, because she gave us, during our, was it cardiac awareness that she gave you the?
And I looked at her invertible
Yeah.
set.
I'm interested in her worsted and DK, not so much the sock, because I'm not working a lot of that yarn right now. And I've yet to pick one up. I want to pick one up and use it, but I have to find the right color and find the right project.
And each of these little baby skeins are 55 yards.
Fiber Nymph? Just Fiber Nymph?
I think it is just Fiber Nymph.
Okay. If you hear a noise in the background, Davina's coming out of her snack. So, okay.
She was in her snack?
Yes. Now, when I ordered from Packing
Inside
Knits,
her snack, really.
when I ordered my stuff from Packing Knits for you guys, for the Autism Awareness, the little DPN holder, which is so cute, I also ordered a set of stitch markers. And she sent me tea. Chamomile and anise and lemon ginger. Yummy. And then in this little box, what's this little box? I can put more DPN, more stitch markers. And I've got just simple, these, she said they should fit like up to a 10 or 10 and a half. These stitch markers.
It's a ring, Mom.
Yeah, it's a ring one. She said they're non-snag, and there are 10 of them. And this is what I'm going to be using on my two-color shawl that I call Melissa's Fault. And this way I can keep track of my stitches a little more. It's wonderful. I have, as you can see them all in here. I'm sorry about the glare. You can see them all in here. There's plenty of room for more stitch markers. This is a set of 10. And this is Packing Knits Designs on Etsy. So, yes, I'm happy with that. I'm looking forward to using them. And I will put the whole stitch marker thing in my bag with the project.
I don't think it's actually going to thunderstorm. It still looks pretty bright out.
Yeah, we might get a chance to go for a walk after all today.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Daddy if he minds if we do it like we did last time, walk before eating.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's...
We didn't walk before eating.
Oh, what?
Never mind.
I got some feedback on my yarn from somebody who loved the yarn, but said that some of it was bleeding. Now, this was before I knew about, I did the vinegar, but maybe not enough. And I'm just curious, Heidi from Undead Yarn, Packing Knits, anyone else who does a lot of dyeing, how do you minimize the bleeding? Andy Sue Knits, if you are dyeing like that, because I actually soak it in a vinegar. Now the person who got this yarn, this was before I did this process, and I'm not getting as much bleeding now. But I actually soak it when I'm soaking it to saturate it with water. I actually soak it in the vinegar because some people do that, and then I also put vinegar in my dye bath, which is food coloring dye bath or basically food coloring. When I use Kool-Aid, I don't need to because it has citric acid in it already. So is there anything else I should be doing? I do wash it with soap, usually a small amount of Dawn or something, which is what one of the first people that I watched who died told me to do, to use some kind of detergent. And I washed it a couple of times, and sometimes it still bleeds a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. Is there anything that you can tell me that will keep it from, bleeding? I don't want it to bother, to muddy up somebody's work if they have a shawl or something that's got cream and then a bright black or red or something and it bleeds onto the cream. I would hate for that to happen. So any tips that you may have, I'd appreciate hearing from you, either in the thread or through a PM. That would be great.
Now, I have noticed even with some of the experienced dyers
Yes.
that I will get a little bleeding on my hand when I'm knitting with certain colors.
I know that green seems to bleed a lot, red seems to bleed, and sometimes blue bleeds a little bit. But it seems especially green and red, because the color that was bleeding for this person was, the color that I used was red. And it didn't come out as red, but it came out, it was a red color base. So anything that you would like to tell me? I do have a couple of really good books on dyeing, but I'd be interested in hearing practical, tricks and tips if you are willing to share them. So I should probably ask, I can't think of her name, Lisa, I think it is. Is that right? Laura? She's from Jinx Yarn. I don't want to tag her if I can't remember her name, because that's not nice. But she's a wonderful dyer, and she's wonderful about telling you things. She says, I don't mind telling you what, tips and tricks. I'm not going to give you my formulas, obviously. That's what does it. But the tips and tricks, I mean, that's not a problem. So I think that's really nice of her. Okay, so that's that.
Autobiography.
It's a bunny.
He is funny.
Yes, I don't have any tea.
I'm out of tea as well. Wow, I must be tired because I keep wanting to say everything is in a bag, and my book is not in a bag.
Maybe you're in a bag.
I am in a bag.
In the bag.
Autobiography, I've read some King John. I think that Benning might be reading it too.
Really?
Well, the only reason why I think he might be is he made a comment on my Facebook at when this went from Goodreads, and said something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, our King John just made it out of Wales." And I'm sitting here like, yes, actually he did.
Oh, before I forget, that reminded me, because Benning is not in the group. The lady from the Grace Place, what's her name?
Oh, blast. I know who you're talking about.
She was in church today, and she wanted to know if we wanted to get started on the knitting crocheting group for teens.
Okay.
I said, you're working overtime right now, but we will talk to her about it when your schedule changes. She stopped me there. Her father kind of looked at me. She follows our podcast.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Hi!
Hi!
Even if I can't remember your name.
Oh, I know her name, too.
Yeah. I do know her name. I just can't think of it.
Because I have a handwritten note from her.
Because she stopped me. She said, you're Talia's mom, right? And I said, yeah. So she was still interested in that.
I can't remember her name. Because my brain is broken, and
so I didn't mean to do it on the podcast. It sounds like I'm tooting our own horn. I don't mean to. If I don't tell her when I remember, I won't tell her.
Right.
So,
but yes, I think Benning might be reading this book too. But yeah, like Benning said, our John just finished with Wales, and I think he's headed towards Magna Carta pretty soon, because he's pretty well hated right now. He's very heavy on the taxation. But
taxation without representation.
Very much enjoying this book. I gave my opinion last week about the flipping back and forth in timeline. We're done with that. Now we're going straight in a linear fashion. So.
Okay. All right. I wrote almost 1,000 words to the shared story, so that was fun. I keep saying I'm almost done, then I keep figuring out things I have to write in order to make it make sense. So I'm moving along. I usually don't keep the story this long. For whatever reason, it's been difficult to get time to write and to concentrate. I have been having difficulty sleeping, so it's very difficult to focus when I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
I did finally finished reading the Kingdom by Brian Liffin, and I started A Cast of Stones, which I'm flying through. I'm already a third of the way through. It's just this is by Patrick W. Carr, and he's a wonderful writer. I enjoy him immensely. I read a short story, or I guess it was a novella, and the first book that came after it. And I think actually that series came after the one I'm reading now, and I didn't know it. So I went back to read this, and if new books come out for that series, I'll read it again, the first two, and then pick up because he's really, really good. So that was really good. We did watch The Hunger Games this weekend, the last two movies of the installment, so I guess you would call it the last book, and now I want to read The Hunger Games again. They did a fairly good job of sticking with the book. You really felt for Peeta. I'm sure everybody has seen it by now, but I don't want to give any spoilers.
I haven't seen it. I haven't read the last part of the book.
That's right. Suffice to say that my husband was impressed by Peeta's acting ability, which is a rare thing that my husband is.
So are you finally okay with the guy being Peeta? Because I know that for a little while,
No, I like Peeta.
Oh, okay.
I like Peeta. He was a little different than I envisioned him. I mean, I saw him first, and when I read him, he was a little different.
Right.
I saw him first.
Because he didn't quite fit the Peeta in my head.
Right. Because I had the picture already in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I knew. I thought they did a really good job. The movie necessarily had to be a little more sketchy. It left out things I wish they could have done. But the continuity was there. Some of the things were a little bit crunched and things, but
well, that happens.
You know, it was good. I enjoyed it immensely.
Honestly, I prefer when they crunch things than to when they completely add things.
Well, and I
have it.
And I don't like when they combine characters like they did in Anne of Green Gables.
And actually in not to start with love. Amen.
Oh, Lilies of the Field.
Lilies of the Field.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like. I would rather they not put the character in at all than combine the characters. It just doesn't. It bugs me. It offends my sensibilities. Okay, so all right, so that's that. Anything that you need to say before I do shout out type things?
No.
Okay, I want to thank. We had a wonderful shout out from Spicy Homemaker, who really had some nice words to say about our podcast and our Autism Awareness Cal.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Melissa, on top of the wonderful prize you donated. We do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Very nice of you. And then Packy Knits, on her latest podcast, also gave us a very nice shout out on her podcast, which we appreciate immensely. Thank you very much. If you don't watch those two podcasts, you might want to go check them out, as well as the podcasts that are co-sponsoring, if you will, co-hosting with us, the Autism Awareness Undead Yarn and Crocheting Hoovian podcasts. Those are both very good as well.
Yes.
We also want to thank YouTube comments. We had Beverly Evinger, and Beverly, I don't know what happened to your podcast, to your remark, and my response to your remark, but they went away. So I did answer it. I hope you saw it. And then Spicy Homemaker also commented.
Yes, I did see that. I haven't responded. Thank you.
Yes, we did see that. We appreciate your comment.
I haven't responded to anyone on this thread this week. I think I said because we podcasted. I worked 4 nights. Had 1 night off where I was like, I will answer stuff. I think I answered 2 things on Ravelry, and I was like, ugh. Yeah,
it's been a little bit hectic. So I have been trying to take up the slack. I think I'm all basically caught up. I'm a little behind on my what do you call it, the PMs, but I'm trying to catch up with those as well. And if I've contacted you about a recent PM, I may not contact you about an older one because I figure that we've talked. Unless you need something answered, and if I haven't answered it, then go ahead and give me a poke. Say, hey, I asked you this question and you didn't answer it. I will be abjectly sorrowful and contrite, and I will answer you.
And she will hang her head.
I will hang my head in shame. So, okay, so that's that. We're going to podcast what day?
I guess Monday.
Because we're going to go to the commissary Friday. You're going to be off Friday.
Well, this Friday there's no sense of podcast because that'd be 2 podcasts.
No, I understand. We're podcasting this Friday. We're commissary this Friday.
Commentary this Friday. We could probably podcast on Monday. Then because there's going to be a point we're going to have a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Because after
Maryland Sheep and
Wool, I go back to my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday work schedule.
So that'll be Friday.
So we could do either have a long week this week, where we podcast on Friday and then continue podcasting on Friday after that, or...
I think we'd rather have a longer week where we know we're going to have... because it'll be a long podcast if we wait for the Maryland Sheep and Wool stuff. Won't that be...
So have a long week prior to the Maryland Sheep and Wool. So Friday this coming.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that if we do it the Monday coming up, okay, so that's 6 days instead of 5.
And then we'd have...
And then do it the following Friday.
The following Friday would be after Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Right, exactly.
So you want more projects after Maryland
I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe that's...
So maybe Friday this week. So we have the more projects before Maryland Sheep and Wool.
So what day are we doing our next one?
Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Not
this Friday. May
Friday.
Right before Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Okay, so it'll be May, I don't know.
I think that might be best, because otherwise we're going to have a long week right after Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Yeah. So it'll be, I think it's like May 5th or something like that. Because I think the Sheep and Wool is the 6th. So that first weekend in May, it will be a Friday that we do the podcast. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us here in the PHN Fun Woman Cave. We're glad that you joined us, and we hope to see you next week on Friday, the first Friday in May. That's right, isn't it? Yes, the first Friday in May, because this Friday is not the first Friday in May. We will see you here next Friday.
We'll put it in the...
We'll put it in the thread.
By we, I mean Mom.
Me?
Yes.
You're doing the thread. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. Oh, have a wonderful week full of everything that makes you happy. And we hope to see you here at the PHN Fun Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 204. And that's a wrap.